With children back in the classrooms, Peter Andre is one of several famous faces fronting a new anti-bullying campaign. And he joins me now, just back from the school run, I guess. How are you doing, love?
Do you know what? I am absolutely loving talking about subjects like this because it's so fitting. How are you, first of all? Are you well?
I am very well indeed, and I know this is really close to your heart, talking about bullying, because I didn't actually realise just how bad it was for you when you were growing up. It was really tough, because you know what kids are like? They're always going to pick on the kid that's a little bit different.
Oh, I was very different. What happened was moving to Australia. I mean, Australia now is like so multicultural, so beautiful. But when I first moved there on the Gold Coast, if I can remember, we were the only ethnic family on the coast. I don't even remember another ethnic family initially. We're talking about 35 something years ago. And I had the dark hair, the big nose, the English accent, and it was, I stood out. And we were picked on a lot. So initially it was racism, which is obviously a form of bullying. It wasn't just calling names. I mean, we got beaten. We got beaten pretty bad. But the irony of that, Lorraine, is that, years later, a lot of those people, apologize, and you're like, oh, yeah, they're not like that now at all. They're really lovely people when I meet them now. But that's how it was then. The problem is that when you are bullied at an early age, even if you get through it like I did, certain things scar you for life. And bullying, it's such a horrible thing, and so many kids are going through it. And it scarred me to the point that even now at 47, and I say this to my wife, I can't believe this, my hair's naturally curly, but I won't have it curly. I always straighten it. And the reason I do that is because every time I look in the mirror and my hair's curly, I see what those kids used to call me. And so that's the long-term effects of bullying. Yeah. And it's really tough. That's why a campaign like this is so important, because we've got to teach people from young to be able to talk about it, to be able to do something about it.
No, exactly, because that's the thing. It's that thing of you don't want to tell. Sometimes you don't want to worry your mum and dad. Sometimes you can't tell them. Sometimes there's nobody for you to talk to. And that's why this is so important, because the thing is, when you were getting bullied, and I was bullied a bit at school, but the thing was, as soon as I got home, it stopped. But now, of course, with the phones, they can get you 24/7.
That is absolutely the key point for me, is that we never had the cyberbullying. And actually, I found later on in life that the bullying stopped face to face. People were lovely, absolutely lovely. But then we had these things called trolls, which I never knew anything about. I just thought it was like a movie. But actually, this was a real thing, that these kids people would go and they would bully people online. You can't see their face, you can't hear their tone, so you see something written in black and white. And look, we all know, you send someone a text and you don't put LOL at the end, or kiss, or smile, and it can look very abrupt. But if someone's saying something bad to you, and there's, and it's just written, it can really, really affect you. So yeah, you're right, you've got no escape. And now, these days, you can tell someone. And that's why this campaign that we're doing is so important, because we're trying to get people to sign up to become anti-bullying ambassadors, which is so important, because then that means someone at school can go to one of their peers who they know is there to look at and to talk to. And they feel they can, because you can't talk to your teachers sometimes.
No. No, that's true. You can. Or, as I said, as your mum and dad. I guess the best revenge is to live a happy and successful life. So that's what you're doing.
Well, I think the best, if that's a word, revenge, what you actually want to do, in my opinion, obviously, is you want to just sort of nip this in the bud early on.
Sure.
I don't want people to live with scars. I mean, it makes no sense to me that there's things I still won't do now because of the bullying as a kid. And that kind of makes me think, come on, I'm nearly half a century old. I'll be 50 in like 2.5 years. I've got to get over it at some point.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I know, as a dad, and a very protective dad, it must be something that you worry about. Your kids are at school. You've got a great relationship with your children, all of your children. And I guess you'd like to think that they would actually be able to talk to you should there be a problem.
Yes, and I had criticism once before, Lorraine, when I mentioned to somebody that, oh, you've got to be a parent, but you also should be friends to your kids. And I had all sorts of criticism. People saying, you know, you shouldn't be friends to your kids, you should just be a parent. The problem with that is my parents were parents. They weren't my friends, they were my parents. And they were so strict that I couldn't talk to them about anything. Very religious, very traditional in their culture. So the problem there was that I became insular. You know, I kept so many emotions inside. And years later, it all sort of manifested itself and came out in other ways. If I could have talked to my parents about things, I would have. If they were kind of had that friendship side as well, where I felt safe and comfortable to talk to them and they would hear me out, I would have done. So, you know, it's really important that we instill that in people. And I'm not sure if you know about what we're trying to get everyone to do here, but it's a really cool thing. Sorry, Lorraine, I'm talking so much.
No,
I've had
I'm
a
loving
triple
it. You can talk as much as you like. Tell
No,
me
but
about
you know what
this
happened?
big virtual assembly that you're going to do, because that's a great idea.
Well, I had a triple espresso about 10 minutes ago because I was thinking if I don't wake up properly, this is going to be bad. So I'll just ramble it out quick.
Go.
It's for Princess Diana set up the Diana Award, which was brilliant. It's gone on for years, but actually what it's turned into, or what we've got now, is the anti-bullying part of it, which is so important. Now, what we wanted to do was we wanted to do a back to school campaign. So we want to get all the schools around the country to tune in. It's going to be on September the 28th. We've got already 150,000 schools already have signed up for this. We want all the schools across the UK, Ireland, to tune in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do this sort of Zoom to all of them. And we're going to talk about all the different things, people's experiences, and ask people to sign up to become anti-bullying ambassadors. It would really make a huge difference.
It's a great idea, love. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put all of that on our website so that people can see, and then they will know what it's all about. And it is always a joy to talk to you. Have 4 espressos the next time. It'll be fine. It really is, and I think you're doing a great job. And you know what? You will suit your hair. You will look even more handsome with curly hair. I think just go with it. Just go with it. You look
Lorraine,
great. You look great.
Emily told me to tell you last night she loves you and that she hopes to see you very soon.
I hope so too. She's doing a splendid job on the front line. Thank you, my angel. Thank you very much. Great to see you.
Bye.
And we will put all of those details in the website for you. Don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Lorraine on the ITV Hub and all the best clips, compilations and playlists right here on our channel. Just subscribe now and you'll never miss an upload. Click here to watch another video similar to this one, or click here to head to our channel's homepage to explore all of our exciting videos.